Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. So I wanted to do a second video today, and so I think it's probably going to be one of the most important videos I do because hopefully it'll help people. I can take that out of my back pocket. Hopefully this will help people. It's still August 13th. It's Tuesday still, 2019. And now we got a little bit more sunshine as opposed to the overcast and little sprinkles that we had in the first video. We really didn't get a whole lot of rain, just a few sprinkles with that first one, okay? But what we're going to talk about, we're going to jump right into this video. 10 foods to grow in a survival garden, okay? So what we're going to talk about here, guys, a lot of people talk about, and I've talked about hunting and gathering, but your garden is going to be what gets you through the winter, okay? That is going to be the thing that is going to make all the difference in the world if you make it through those months when you can't go out there and gather different things, your wild edibles and stuff like that. And those are the months also that you might not be able to get a lot of game, okay, in the wintertime. I mean, it's still possible, but a lot of things hunker down and ride the winter out, okay? So we're going to talk about 10 foods that you should be growing in your garden to get you through the winter, and we're going to talk about why. So everybody talks about, in the Native Americans, especially up here in the Northeast, the three sisters, okay? So that's beans, corn, and squash. They would always grow those together, and so, like the corn, it would grow tall and straight, your beans would go up the stalk, okay, and the squash would cover the ground, so you didn't have a lot of weeds in that area, where you were growing your corn and stuff like that. So they all kind of worked in conjunction, and they always grew those together. And that was, the Native Americans did that all the time. Okay. So we're going to talk about tomatoes, peppers, lettuce, and broccoli. Those are all great to grow. Okay, but they don't have a long storage life. Now, they're rich in vitamins and minerals. But they're not a hardy food. What we're going to talk about is growing a hardy food. Now, of course, you can take tomatoes and peppers and that type of thing, and you can can it, okay? And that's great. And if you have access to that stuff and you know how to can, then I say can that all day long, and those are great, and they'll last you through the winter as well if they're canned up. But they don't have a long shelf life. What we're looking for is stuff that you can either put up the way it is or dry it out, and it's going to be really, really good. So what we're going to talk about, again, we're looking at hardy foods, okay? And so ideally you want foods that once they're harvested can be stored as they are or dried, and they will last for months and months over the winter. Because you're going to want to have food that's going to be nutritious, high in vitamins and minerals, and things that are going to last you in that aspect, okay? So number one, we're going to go with beans, okay? Beans are high in protein, vitamins, and minerals. They're very high in calories, and they provide lots of energy. So beans are a really, really good thing to have, and they're going to store very, very well. Now, again, when we're talking about storage, guys, you're talking about a dry, cool place is where you're going to want to store those beans and stuff like that, and not exposed to a lot of sunlight, obviously, and it's going to be cooler so that they'll last much, much longer. But beans are a great thing to have, and again, high energy, a lot of protein in beans, and the vitamins and minerals are there as well, and so that's going to give you that energy that you're going to need for doing the activities that you're going to need to do. Okay. Second thing is corn. Not sweet corn, but that we're all used to. Everybody goes into the store and they buy the sweet corn, and it's delicious and it tastes great. But we're going to be talking about grain corn. Okay, so you want to have it so that basically with grain corns, it can be dried out right on the stalk, and then you just harvest it right in the stalk itself, and you can store it that way. That can be used to make bread, can be put down, mashed up and used in soups and those type of things. But corn is a great, great thing. Stores really well over the winter. Again, we're talking about a dry, cool place to store that. Hello, buddy. How are you? I have a visitor. Mr. Buddy. Okay. So the next thing you're going to want to look at is a winter squash. It's hardy, easy to store during the winter months, and it can last up to 6 months. So again, your hardy or your winter squash is and again, you're going to know when you read the packages and stuff like that, know exactly what squashes are going to be the ones that you're going to want to grow. and you're talking about something that can last 6 months. So that's definitely something, you know, like up here in New York, winter can easily last 6 months up here. It happens. We can start at winter early, and you know, and then you're not growing stuff anymore after that. Okay, so a winter squash is a great thing to grow as well. Number 4 is going to be potatoes. Again, very, very easy to grow. They will sustain you for a long time when no other food is available. Everybody talks about the potato famine in Ireland. When it happened, people, you know, basically were just growing potatoes. But the problem that they did is they just grew one kind of potato. They didn't have different varieties of potatoes. So having different varieties of potatoes is good as well. So just don't grow one kind of potatoes. Grow 3-4 different kinds of potatoes, okay? Really, really smart to do. And again, if nothing else is available, you can survive just by eating potatoes, all right? And the next one is carrots, all right? This is one of your root vegetables. Really, really good to have. They store very, very well. And here's the best part we're talking about with carrots. They store really good in the winter. And what you can do with carrots, you don't even have to harvest the carrots. You can leave them right in the ground if you put a thick layer of mulch over them after they've finished growing. And then you can leave them right in the ground and go out there and harvest them, and they'll be good to go. Okay, so you can do that. You can harvest them as well, and you know. But like I said, you can just those are a thing that you can just leave right into the ground, as long as it's got a thick layer of mulch on the top of it. You can go out there throughout the winter and harvest them and eat them then, and it's a great place to store them because they're right in the ground, so it's going to be cool and dark and stuff like that as well. Okay, cabbage is another good one. It's a staple around the world, and for good reason. It's easy to grow, and it's high in nutrition, and even when it's cooked, the nutrition doesn't cook out of it. Okay, it also can be fermented and, you know, turned into cabbage, or sauerkraut, okay? And so, but when it's fermented, it will last even longer. So cabbage is a great thing to have, okay? Not a big fan of cabbage myself, but guess what? If I was starving, I'll eat it every day. Another one, number 7, would be kale, okay? Now, kale is from the same family as cabbage, and it's also very, very hardy, okay? And with the cool thing about kale, you can grow kale into the late winter months and early winter, late fall and early winter, and it can be cooked or dried, and they make kale chips out of the dried, you know, with the dried kale. So you can use that as well. So it's another thing that's going to last a good long time. You can grow it late into the season, and it's very nutritious as well. Number 8 is going to be sweet potatoes. It's healthier than regular potatoes, as it contains more nutrients, and the greens are even edible on sweet potatoes. So you can eat the spud and the greens with sweet potatoes, okay? They will last a month or two at room temperature. So again, you keep them out at room temperature, and they're going to last you a month or two that long. Again, if you keep them in a cool, dry place, they're going to last longer. And the other thing that you can do with sweet potatoes, if you expose them to temperatures of 85 to 90 degrees, like for 5 days before you harvest them, they're going to grow a second layer, and they'll last longer that way as well. It grows like a second skin, and it'll last even longer, okay? So that's a good thing about sweet potatoes. Number 9 is garlic. Garlic is very, very important to have, guys. It's delicious and will add flavor to anything that you cook, number 1. It's highly nutritious, and it can also be used as a medical plant, as it's a powerful antibiotic and an antiviral, okay? So those are things that are going to be really, really important in an SHTF situation. You're going to want to have something like that. It boosts the immune system, again, something really, really important in a post-event, and it also reduces high blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure and you incorporate garlic into your diet on a regular basis, it's going to help with that, okay? It can be stored over the winter very, very easily while you're waiting for the next crop to grow. So garlic is something that if it's not in your diet right now, I would definitely highly suggest you put it into your diet, okay? The next thing, number 10, is going to be herbs. So you're talking about your rosemary, your thyme, basil, your bay leaves, your parsley, and stuff like that. Okay, it can be grown, and then when you just hang it up to dry it out, and it stores really really well over the winter months like that, and it's a really great thing to have. And so those are 10 different things. If you're trying to grow a survival garden, you're not trying to grow anything else. You're not trying to worry about growing, like I said, your lettuce, your tomatoes, your peppers, and those type of things. You should definitely still grow them. They're good to eat, high in vitamins, high in nutrition, and stuff like that. But if you're trying to grow something that's going to last you through that winter months, that's going to store well, that's what you want to have. Now again, like I said, with tomatoes, you can can them, and then obviously that's going to last you, excuse me, through the winter months as well. Very, very important stuff to have, guys. Okay, so like I said, I wanted to do this second video. I'm trying to, like I said, so here's what you're going to want to look at. You're going to want to make sure you have the seeds that you need to have. With potatoes, make sure you have those sweet potatoes. Make sure you have regular potatoes with the eyes still on them, not with them off of them. So you want to make sure that you have them so that they will continue to grow. Okay, these are great things to have, and like I said, potatoes can keep you alive for a very, very long time. You add the other things in with there as well. Great, great stuff to have. Great to have in your garden. Okay, so something to think about, something to add into your preps. And like I said, even just go to the store and buy a bunch of garlic right now. Okay, and then also look at, for growing. What do I need? What can I grow? I think what I may do next year as an experiment is, skip the tomatoes. Maybe I'll throw in a couple tomato plants, but separate. But just look at trying to grow those staples, like the corns, the beans, the, garlic, and everything else that we have on the list here. So I'm going to think I may possibly do that next year, and we'll see what happens. But I think it'll be fun. Okay. So anyway, guys, I hope you appreciate the video. If you do, please like, comment, and share. It is definitely, make sure you're hitting that bell icon so you get notifications. I post every single day. I live stream 3 days a week. Okay. Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays I do my live stream. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching, and like I said, I'd like to hear what you have to say about the topic of this video, what you think. Like I said, as far as root vegetables, I definitely like to grow carrots, or not just carrots, but radishes as well. I enjoy radishes, and there's all kinds of different radishes you can grow as well that are going to last a good long time as well. So, I don't want you to think I wasn't thinking about radishes as well. So I definitely want to hear your feedback. So thank you for watching. Remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so that's really, really important to tell the people that you care about every single day. Also remember, guys, we are all in this together. That is important, okay? So definitely think about that, plan for that, and, plan on working together. Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that can stop you from getting there is yourself. Nobody else can stop you, okay? That's also very, very important to remember. Stay away from the negativity, stay positive, and you will do fine. Also remember, guys, I just wanted to mention real quickly, this Saturday, August 17th, 2019, we are doing the Prepper Get-Together at Letchworth State Park. Looking forward to meeting everybody there. I will be providing hamburgers, hot dogs, obviously the paper products that you're going to need, silverware that you're going to need, hamburger buns, and all the, ketchup and mustard and all that type of stuff. So that will all be provided. I ask that you bring a dish to pass, and also if you, just let me know that you're coming. Should be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to meeting everybody. Okay? I will talk to you guys all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.